All right, a very good afternoon to you, Abuja. Thank you for staying with us. This is your passionate talk, news, and sports radio station, 95.1 Nigeria Info FM Abuja. It's a pleasant day to be back at work. How has the day been? I trust you've had a great day so far. Work has been good for you, and no troubles whatsoever. You're listening to the voice of radio's finest. My name is Gabriel Spector, and of course I'm not here alone. I've got delectable, amiable, more adjectives, please.
No, that's just about enough. That's fine. Thank you so much.
No, but let's add a few more.
Why?
I don't know. You're looking
tired.
No, you don't look tired.
Oh, come on. You told me just before we came into the studio. Now you want to butter me up.
It's the way you're walking. You're walking like...
You know how you have one of those Mondays where it's like...
I know.
Can you just not exist? Can this Monday not just exist?
I know. I was on morning cruise on Sunday, and I said... Sunday was particularly very interesting because it was quite windy over the night. And I think there was some sort of
saying that you live around the vulnerable areas, but because the wind did not get to me.
Now you are not. That's the beauty about vulnerable areas. You are close to nature, so you enjoy the best of nature. But you guys are staying ultra urbanized areas, like the area that you stay in or stay at. You guys are in the middle of urbanization and industrialization, so you do not have that full impact of nature. So when the wind is blowing in my area, I have AC, but I don't use it because I don't need it. Now you need AC.
So proud of you.
Or industrial fan.
How will you need AC when you don't even have lights to start with?
No. I will not take that from you, Somi. You will not drag me.
That's the song you've been singing for the past how many? I'm just re-echoing your words.
I'm allowed to sing the song.
But we are not allowed
have
to.
Have you been having power supply?
Yes, of course.
You have?
Yeah. I think Saturday was the only day that we went for throughout the week, it was like, wait, what's going on? Wait first. Nepa, are you there? I mean, but yes, thank God for bringing us all the way from the weekend, windy or not windy, with power or not with power, into this week. We push through.
Yeah, I mean,
even when we don't feel like it, we push through.
That's a good thing about when you love your job. I like to think you love your job.
It's okay that you can think that.
You don't?
Did I say? I say it's okay.
I just want to know if I'm on the same page.
Hello, Daddy. Face your love, please. Allow me. You can love your job. I will job my love. I will drop my love. Leave me, please. Welcome, FCT. Welcome, Capital City. Good to have you here on Hard Facts this afternoon. Welcome. All right, let's get into our conversations for today. Of course, you being our guest, you know that you can join us on Facebook and YouTube where we are streaming live. Go to Nigeria Info Abuja to be part of the conversations, and you can be part of it, whether you are sending messages, whether you are sending voice notes, hopefully no longer than 90 seconds, or whether you are calling in. I do think that our phone lines are still a bit shaky, so if you wish to engage for a phone line, please call the WhatsApp number. I'll just put it out there so that as we get into the conversations, you can be a part of it. 0809-993-0137. That's 080-993-0137 if you want to call in. So I'll let Gabriel get into our first big story for today.
All right. Yes, like you know, or as you know, we'll start with the big three. And one of the biggest stories right about now has got to be ASU, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sure you're scratching your head like, ASU again? Well, yeah, we're ASU again. They clearly are disgruntled. They're not happy. And they are in the news again. And there are different sides to the issue, as a matter of fact. We're going to be sharing all of that. So just sit tight there. So here we have it that ASU has embarked on strike. The Minister of Education, that's Tunji Alausa, says the federal government has addressed all the demands by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, talking about ASU. The education minister spoke earlier today that the commencement of 2-week warning strike starting from October 13 is not called for. It said ASU must call off its strike and continue negotiations as all of its demands have already been addressed. And quoting the minister here, it says, I do not see reasons why they have gone on this strike. I can tell you today that all the demands of ASU have been met. It said that the union was determined to go on strike despite efforts to negotiate with them. For the arrears of their earned academic allowance, we have paid 50 billion naira, he said. Still quoting the minister here, he said, we have addressed the issue of postgraduate supervision allowances, which are to be paid by the institutions, and have been told that they are being paid. So, issue here, it says, I have been told that they are being paid. Now, the minister said out of the 150 billion naira needs assessment fund that was appropriated in the 2025 budget, 50 billion has been released, adding that the remaining will come in tranches. The promotion arrears, we have told them that this will be paid with the 2026 appropriation budget, he added. The 25/35 wage award, still quoting the minister, by the way, I have had multiple meetings with them where I told them that all public servants have not been paid, but this will be paid in 2026. So he said the federal government committee had provided ASU a counter proposal on October 10 on issues of condition of service and the welfare of workers, but the union had yet to respond before embarking on strike. Alausa also noted that the inability of the government to meet the union during its 3-week ultimatum was due to the absence of the negotiation committee chairman, Ali Ahmed, who had gone on a trip. So this is the position of the Minister of Education as regards ASU's new strike. And of course, by extension, that's the position of the federal government of the country as regards this issue. Now, I mentioned earlier that there are other sides to this particular issue because we're getting information that the Congress of University Academics, CONWA, says it is not taking part in the ongoing nationwide strike by lecturers. So the CONWA, in a statement by CONWA, I meant to say, the president, Niyi Sumonu, dismissed reports he said have been suggesting its involvement in the ongoing strike. He said the union is committed to maintaining, stability, academic stability through constructive dialogue and peaceful engagement with the government and other stakeholders. Sumonu also urged CONWA members to continue performing their academic and administrative duties as expected. So what we're seeing now is cracks within the ASU rank. The union noted that its formal protest following its initial exclusion from the renegotiation committee of the 2009 agreement between academic staff and the federal government, which was inaugurated in October 2024. So now we're having, some members of ASU saying we're not part of the strike. Some bodies, yes.
Bodies under ASU. And when you say cracks, such wide cracks they are. As it stands, CONWA and federal government has come out to say ASU insist on going on the strike, and so they've insisted on the no work, no pay clause as far as the strike is still on. Mm-hmm. But CONWA, that is the Congress of University Academics, and another group, the National Association of Medical and Dental Academics, NAMDA, are exempt from this no work, no pay policy because they have removed themselves from anything that has to do with the strike. And I'm seeing reports, even though it still bears for us to look in a little deeper, that ASUP, that is the polytechnic arm of ASU, is said to have also stepped down the decision on striking as well. And so I remember when I played the voice snippet last week where, Mr. Lausa was at the negotiation table with representatives of ASU, if I remember correctly, and he was talking about how, even though this report says he said he had met all their demands, but I remember listening to him last week, what he said was he had met 80% of their demands.
Mm-hmm.
And so the remaining 20 was something they were considering to fulfill come next year with the budget, if I remember correctly. And I remember saying then, if 80% good enough for ASU to consider not going on strike? And perhaps that's what we are seeing with the falling out in the ranks of the other bodies that are associated with ASU, the CONRA, NAMDA, and ASU, if the report that I saw is anything to go by, who have referenced the fact that there was a considerable effort on the part of the Minister of Education to meet their demands, or sort of attend to their demands, or even listen to them. It was proper engagement, proper discussions, as opposed to maybe what you see in the past, where maybe there might be one heavy-handed behavior here or there from the federal government speaking to these bodies. So I remember saying, is 80% enough? ASU don't seem to be buying the 80% conversation, but then you have groups who are on the side saying, look, we've seen something reasonable, except we're to also just pay a little more attention to the minister when he said he was told that they had been paid, or that the payments were going out. Is it possible that what they're telling him is not what is actually happening, and that's why ASU is insisting? Whatever the case is, the cracks are so wide, and it bears further inspection, because 2 weeks is a long time for our children to be out of school.
I mean, we've had 7 months, we've had 8 months before, so I'm sure
2 days is too long.
I'm sure 2 weeks is no big deal. I'm
the part of Asuba, but what about our children?
No. I'm not saying that is okay. I'm not saying we should allow our students to be out of school. Let's go for this commercial.
Okay.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
It's still a pen of Somi. Yes, you can call me Somi for short. That's SOMI. And Gabriel Spectre, radio's finest, here on the Monday edition of Hard Facts. And we're looking at the big three. We're talking about the first story. And Gabriel, you're about to wrap up your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm looking at some of the grievances here. Conclusion of the renegotiated 2009 federal government/ASU agreement. And that's number one. Number two, end to victimization of academics, release of withheld salaries, that's the one for 2022 strike action, payment of unpaid salaries for staff on sabbatical, part-time, and adjunct appointments due to flawed IPPIS implementation. Number five, remittance of outstanding third-party deductions. 6, adequate funding for revitalization of public universities. 7, payments of arrears of 25 to 35% salary award, which the minister in his comments mentioned that this would get into effect from the 2026 budget.
Yes, he did.
So again, what the minister has said at the end of the day is what maybe it's because it's coming from the minister. If the minister said, let's get back to the negotiation table again, I do not see any reason why ASU, at least the ones who are still involved in the strike, do not go back to the negotiation table. Even though I totally understand it. So a junior staff, a junior lecturer right now earns about 150,000 naira right now. So it's as though when you say, okay, we're going to have some of these things into effect from 2026 because of the budget and whatnot. And the economy hasn't halted. The economy is not on halt. It's not on pause. It's still ongoing. You are not going to tell your belly to chill till 2026 when the budget is passed. You have to go to the market this weekend, possibly today, if you do not have food in your house. So when we look at these issues from a governance perspective, it doesn't really, life still has to continue. And maybe perhaps this is one of the reasons why they are still pressing harder. Because to be very sincere, these people haven't served the short end of the stick on multiple occasions. We've been in this country where ASU has gone on strike. They've been asked to come to the negotiation table, and over and over. Yesterday, on Sunday, yes, I was on Morning Cruise, and we're talking about this pardoned, inmates by the president. And one of the things that was resounding the most to me is the level of distrust an average Nigerian has for its government. An average Nigerian does not trust even the, in quotes, air quote now, goodwill of the government. So even when the government means well, is trying to do all it can, an average Nigerian has zero trust. Why? Because if a man and a woman in a marriage or in a relationship are, having issues where there's serious level of distrust from one party to the other, it's because you have been doing stuff over and over again.
Okay. So let's use that analogy that you just gave.
No, Somi, just let me land.
Okay.
Let me land.
Okay.
So my point exactly is this, is that if ASU, we're talking about lecturers here, informed people, we're talking about people who are learned, right? Who teach other people to become great people in life. Either, even politicians, they are groomed under lecturers, the ones that go to school, by the way, right? And have certificates. So we're not talking about area boys by the expressway. We're talking about learned people. If they are still striking, there is a reason why.
So let's take these issues and put them side by side. But first of all, the analogy that you gave.
Yeah.
And I'm not holding brief for this government, but you expect that with the coming of a new administration, maybe you set certain, or you what's it called now? You give sort of like the benefit of a doubt, right? In instances like this. And again, I refer back to Mr. Lausa's statement last week when he was addressing ASU. And he said 80% of the demands have been met. And my question now is, have they actually been met? Because I have ASU's unresolved issues here. They say they shunned the federal government and insisted on unresolved issues. But it's a case of you're showing such a strong hand for a government that is 2 years plus in the office. Meanwhile, some of these issues that have been persisting way before they got here. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if Alausa comes out and says, because he said this during his briefing last week, we a lot of these issues that are on ground, we have, in good faith, the president has, attempted to resolve most of them. And he alluded to an 80% of them being resolved. So I'm now thinking, is it that the 80% was just a political statement? Was it words on paper, not actual resolution of issues? But if it is actually a case of the 80% have been resolved and you want to throw away the 80 because of the 20 unresolved, then I think that that's where there is a bit of a mismatch. Because in all things, whatever is being done, whether it's on the part of government, on the part of the unions that claim to be representative of some of these very sensitive groups, you must consider the effect that these strike actions are going to have on the in this case now being the students. So let's look at what ASU has come out to say are the unresolved issues.
All right.
And let's see if we can really and truly hinge it.
Do you want to mention the unresolved issues?
Yes, absolutely. I have them here, right?
Yes, go ahead.
So first of all, the news report reads, Shun's FG insists on strike. So it is a case of they've had this conversation. I think last week the headline I saw was that they said whatever has been done is too little too late. So if I recall the headline, what it says is not discountenancing the fact that anything has been done. Is that what has been done
is too little.
It's too little, too late.
Sorry,
let me read your result issues.
Let me quickly react to this. We have to throw open the phone lines, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
you see, Somi, there's a way that you would have been battered so much whereby it would take more than just barest minimum to make me heal.
Which is why I'm saying, is it that the 80 is a political statement? Because if 80 was really 80 done, then I don't think...
You think that is enough. But you know what, Somi? You and I are not ASU. We're not lecturers, right?
Let me read your unresolved issues. And then we can get into proper judging of this matter.
Go.
Right? And you have Alausa's statement there. You can talk about the 80 that he said, the things that he said categorically had been done. Even though there was a bit of a caveat.
With the 80%.
Okay, let me do the 20.
All right.
Right? He said, or rather, they said, rather, for the unresolved issues, I think it was, let's see who put this out now. National President of the Union, Professor Chris Piwuna, while briefing newsmen in Abuja. No, that this Piwuna represents Konwa. But let's look at the unresolved issues. Unresolved issues include conclusion and signing of the renegotiated 2009 FG ASU agreement, payment of withheld 3.5 months' salaries, sustainable funding and revitalization of public universities, and an end to the victimization of lecturers in LASU, KSU, now Prince Abubakar Audu University, Futo, and others. These are the unresolved issues, according to what I can see here in this report.
I also have a few more. According to the ASU president, 12 months, I think you mentioned this, 2025, 25%, 35% salary increase still being owed. Okay, I think it's basically the same thing that you've mentioned.
So those are the three. Now, what did Alausa say has been done? What is in the 80%? And then let's put them side by side together and say, yes, you see this mistrust, the apparent mistrust for governments and some government institutions, you can't take that away, especially from the likes of an ASU who has a 2009 agreement pending. But what has been resolved? Can we go through what Alausa said has been resolved? And then we put it side by side. Because at the end of the day, for me, who bears the brunt of this? That's the biggest conversation for me. And that's not taking anything away from ASU and their rights to protest. But we're saying, should 80 be enough? Or should it not be? Remember, the phone lines are open. Y'all can jump in on this conversation as well.
The arrest for the end academic allowance will pay 50 billion naira out of about 150.
So that's a third.
We have addressed the issue of postgraduate supervision allowances, which are to be paid by the institutions, and I have been told that they are being paid. He also said, yes, okay, I spoke about the 150 billion needs assessment fund, out of which 50 billion has been released, adding that the remaining will come in tranches. The promotion areas, which are we have told them that this will be paid with the 2026 appropriation budget. The 25/35% wage award, I have had multiple meetings with them where I told them that all public servants have not been paid.
This sounds to me like some of the things that are still unresolved.
You know, but yes, these are some of the issues. I always talk about essential service workers, such as lecturers. I believe that some form of priority, if I can put it that way, See, one of the reasons why we have, I was talking to one of my top bosses in the media space. This is someone that trained me in journalism on the field. And we're having a conversation this morning talking about some of these prevailing issues in the country. And I told him, I said, Oga, there's a serious problem with with comprehension. You go on X now, people have issues comprehending simple sentences.
Where do you think those issues are stemming from?
Some of them is from our academic structure. It is not the way it used to be in the 80s, early 90s. This is huge respect to everybody who is in the academic space and doing it right. But we cannot deny those people that benefited from free schooling in the 80s, in the 90s, in the 70s. Ask them. They have children and grandchildren now in school. Ask them if it's the same thing. They will tell you the clear difference.
So what does that mean ultimately?
My point exactly is this. My point is that we have lecturers whose pay doesn't match the service they render.
So 100% or nothing?
I'm not saying 100% or nothing.
What are you saying?
I am saying that what they are saying is the minimum requirement for us to be satisfied to get back to work. You cannot say that, okay, we are the ones that are in pain. We are telling you, give me 70. With 70, I can go to work. You are telling me that you have given me 45.
I'm confused.
No.
Which numbers are you putting out here?
I'm giving just that was metaphorical.
Okay.
Yes, I was just being hypothetical, right? Give me 70. You say you have given me 45. Manage 45. The remaining 25. I'm telling you, now 70 go do me to begin work.
So, if I'm understanding your analysis properly,
yeah,
and Alausa says we've done 80, remaining 20, and Nasu is here saying, look, we have unresolved issues, and it's a case of we want everything resolved. It's sounding to me like 100% or nothing kind of thing. Again, except, and I put this clause every time because Nigerian government, except, because that statement where he made saying he's been told that they are being paid, except there are problems there and those payments are not actually getting to them, but an 80 to a 20.
I believe if that's the case, ASU would have mentioned it, made it clear.
An 80 to a 20, because I'm looking at, apart from what is listed here, which is why I said let's go through Alausa's report as well.
I do not.
Is there any clash? Is there any... Anyway, maybe the listeners will help us resolve that matter. 80-20, should that be enough, or is it a case of 100% or nothing?
Excuse me, I have an issue with the 80%. When the minister says we have done 80%, the 80%, are they on the same page with ASU now? Does
ASU comes out to say,
does it perceive the
unresolved?
80%?
That means they have accounted for the fact that some things have been resolved. I didn't see anything disputing the 80% there. And until we get maybe somebody from ASU coming to say we're not getting 80%, this is the report that we have to work with. So, working with 80-20, should ASU be on strike right now? That's the question.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Except you have another issue that you've not brought to light on the 80.
No. I've not mentioned anything about 80% is because.
No. You said you had an issue with it.
I believe that if ASU tabled 15 items that needs to be resolved, and they perceive that the government can address all these issues. One of the things that you
so 100%.
One of the things that you have not noticed or you're not put into consideration is that sometimes, and this is the dark side of politics all over the world, right? Sometimes there are certain institutions that are very powerful, and certain bodies that are very powerful, and they play a very key role in the swinging of what's it called now? Election results. There are certain institutions, certain bodies that are very crucial to how election results swing. I know we talk about geopolitical zones and whatnot. Internally, there are certain bodies. So many times, many government, I'm not saying this government is doing so, this administration, but many governments sometimes, they use some of these things to weaponize some of these people. And that's the honest truth. Some of these issues are used they are used as negotiation baits. If you are able to deliver these, you have members of this particular association. I'm not even talking about ASU now, I'm talking about generally. It happens all over the place.
So don't go too far. On the ASU issue, it's a simple question. Should it be 100% or nothing? You have said if ASU has, say, 15 demands and they believe that the federal government can work around those 15 demands and deliver it to them, that means they're asking for 100%.
I'm not
The government is, on the other hand, saying 80% done, and ASU is indeed saying there are unresolved issues, and what has been done was a little too late. The overall question here, taking everything into consideration, is what should be the ideal thing right now? And I think the listeners will help us get to the bottom of that. Right. Okay. Second story here. Several members of Enugu State Cabinet have joined the APC ahead of the expected defection of Governor Peter Mba to the ruling party. There's a list here of those who switched allegiance. And some names. Lawrence is a commissioner for innovation, science and tech. Wow, sounds familiar. Amaka Ngene, chairman of Science, Tech and Vocational Schools Management Board, and Felix Namani, commissioner for labor and employment. A statement was put out and it read, Enugu State Cabinet members joined the APC with full chest along with Governor P. Mba, and again, like I said, some of the people there who had switched allegiances. And of course, this development comes amid mounting indications that Governor Mba will formally defect to APC this week after much speculation indeed, seeing as the ruling party's flag was hoisted at Enugu Government House on Sunday night. I heard something about...
The ruling party's flag was hoisted?
Yes.
Okay. That's APC's flag?
Yes.
Okay.
It's very funny to you, isn't it?
I mean, it's hilarious. But let's go on.
It was hoisted on Sunday night, and according to reports, the APC has concluded arrangements to receive Mba officially at a ceremony scheduled to hold in Enugu tomorrow. I don't know that this is anything surprising, really and truly. I remember conversations, especially around the time when Naji was having his issues, some people alluding to how, especially for the people who said, that move to oust him was politically motivated and how it was going to make way from Bahan.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get involved in all the politicking around that conversation, but this is what it's looking like. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong, this is supposed to be the last PDP state.
Stronghold.
Yes.
Let's see now. So we have Imo State, pretty much APC. We have, if I'm not mistaken.
Mba himself has not officially commented on the matter, but several of his aides and associates have already realigned with the ruling party. You don't need any other signs in the sky to tell you what this is looking like. I'm just wondering ultimately what this means for that region and also for the people in the state. All right. We open up the phone lines shortly. Remember to reach us, especially via WhatsApp.
I thought you were going to ask me what I think, but let's get to the phone
No,
lines.
we will. I said we'll open it. I was coming back to you. Okay. Oh, my brother.
Okay.
Oh, I can't leave you now. We're in this together. Who am I to not ask you what you think?
Please.
So just ready to join in the conversation, people. Send messages, send voice notes, and call on WhatsApp. WhatsApp specifically. I'm saying because I'm seeing the regular phone lines blinking. Still not really clear on that end. Over to you.
Okay. Anambra is still APGA. Abia State.
No. I said PDP. Last PDP.
PDP.
Yes.
Oh yeah. It's Enugu State.
Okay.
Enugu State. And see, let me formally welcome I'm not speaking on behalf
welcome
of the
to where?
To the ruling party now.
Okay, you're in the ruling party.
I'm not in the ruling party.
No, the way you said welcome, like, welcome home.
Like all
to
this one
you
that are doing on
them.
all this one are doing today on the news. Like, let's just cut the chase and hit the nail on the coffin, right? So on behalf of them.
Not on the head, on the coffin. Who are you burying, my brother, with this move?
I am not sure what I said there, but let's move on, right? The point exactly is that, I think the handwriting is on the wall for everybody to see. And it's a really sad one for the People's Democratic Party, to be very honest. The state in question has been under the PDP since 1999, right? And to lose that state to the ruling party, to be very frank with you, speaking in political terms, it's a master stroke from the ruling party to be able to corner the last standing party to perhaps the biggest opposition. Because
so when you use words like master stroke, I picture some very tactical, high-level strategy and conversations and negotiations going on. I don't know that I see that in our Nigerian political space. Master stroke in what sense exactly?
So what I'm trying to say is this, Somi, right? Do you know what it takes to have a sitting governor move from one political party to the other while in office? Now, it's happened a number of times. It's not the first it is happening. But it doesn't, it's not something that happens, it's not light. So there's a lot of negotiation that goes on. A lot of negotiation. There's a lot of interest.
When you really, really check, doesn't it just come down to brass tacks? Because what really and truly are we selling as, or are we parading as a political system? It should be a thing of shame on the part of the governor who is moving as in you've come in under the banner of a political party. You came in and flew that flag and spoke the language and drew the people in based on what that party stands for.
Right.
So I think it's just a chicken move, and I don't know. It doesn't allow. This is me personally speaking. I don't know how to respect such moves. I don't even know if I can. That's why I'm like, can we really class it as a master stroke?
No, what?
Because when it comes down to
let me explain the context of what I said.
Do.
What I was trying to say is, if you study the political activities in the country, now I'm speaking in political terms. I'm not speaking as a Nigerian. I'm speaking as someone that observes politics
as it is done in Nigeria.
As it is done in Nigeria.
Not that is the ideal way.
No.
Oh, I see.
No.
Okay.
No.
You can continue now.
If you can't sense sarcasm in everything I've said so far.
My brother, the words you were using, they sounded very convincing, and so I had to check at every point in time.
My point exactly is this. That for the APC to be able to pull Peter Mba from the PDP to the political party, I give them credit for that on a political conversation basis, right? However, everything you've said, your submission is what I totally agree with. It's what I personally, one of the things I berate the most about our political system and parties in the country is lack of clear ideologies. It just looks like our political, it's just logo and name. That separates them.
To some extent,
this one umbrella, this one by broom.
I've kind of just sort of lost faith entirely in the conversations around ideology. But I'm looking at what's happening in Enugu State. Like his people didn't even wait for him to announce. Like it's such a I don't know.
Do you know why it's not? Do you know why it's important that we speak about this? Why? Is because there's somebody listening right now who is probably a university student, and he's going to start a political party in the next 10 years, next 15 years. When we speak like this, I remind myself, what we are doing is beyond information, is education. Citing examples like this to say that we cannot keep having political parties that are just camps, empty houses, to camp people who move at the slightest sight of inconvenience.
No, wait now. Yeah, that's too much grammar. Who move at the slightest, like breeze just blow.
Okay.
And then when it comes down to it, the brass tacks, really, I wish there was a lot of. So there is some level of conversation going on, but I don't know if it's on anything other than what you stand to gain or what you stand to be shielded from if you're a part of the party. Because really and truly,
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
There's a way.
At the end of the day,
I don't know if this thing has happened
people of
to you.
Enugu State.
I don't know if this thing has happened to you, right?
Yes.
And I'm not sure if this is the right analogy, but this is the way I think about it. There's a way that somebody will scheme, right? They will scheme with such tact and such thoughtfulness.
Yeah.
That even you that was schemed, you go to do and toilet for you.
Are you talking about someone in the FCT here?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just talking. I brought another analogy in, and that's why I said I don't even know if
I
it's the
thought
right
you were
analogy.
referring to someone in the FCT.
I don't know.
here.
I honestly don't know.
You don't want to talk about someone
I'm
in the
saying
FCT
because
here.
sometimes that's the way you view, politics in some of the places where they're doing it, and you're thinking such a master stroke, and the word master stroke will really, really carry weight. I'm sorry, I used that one. I know you meant it sarcastically, but get what I'm saying.
Really,
get what I'm saying.
That
There's a way
statement-
somebody will scheme you,
Yeah.
will scheme at you, and you'll be like, yeah, he paid me, but
that was good.
But there was some artistry to it.
Okay, you don't think there's an artistry to this one?
I don't think there's any kind
No,
of.
so when I said master stroke, right?
Hey God, that's I say. I
Let
know
me
I brought
explain.
it. So it was sarcastic. I know.
That statement was actually quite literal.
Oh, it was.
Because
okay.
yes, because I still believe that. Look at what happened with the the FCT minister, for example, and the entire drama that played between the PDP and the APC, the G5 governors. Now, it takes deep level of negotiation that landed him the FCT ministry. I don't even understand what I'm trying to say. You see, that I know that we talk about the politics played in Nigeria, but these people are extremely smart, and they have negotiations on a very deep level. Some of them have meetings for like 6 hours, 7 hours straight. I've been around some of these meetings before, and I know what I'm talking about. So when you have
You've been in meetings where they were decamping?
No. I mean, between high-profile meetings. Somi, please. So, what I was saying.
I get your point, Gabriel. Honestly, I do. Don't even let me throw you off.
My point exactly is that we all do not like how politics is played
in this
country,
especially.
In this country, I do not like it.
I probably don't even like the way it's done elsewhere. I don't know if we could ever get to the idea of politicking. But as far as this conversation on
because now
Enugu and what was done, the way it was done. Remember, I also made mention of the commissioners, just coming out to just, as they said, with their full chest. That was the word that was used on the post on X. Yeah. It just smacks of
a governor moving with commissioners.
Anyway,
it's a big deal.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we promise to open up the phone lines and let you in on the conversation. Stay with us.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
Attention, Nigeria! Are you an innovator with a home?
This is Nigeria Info.